Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today in the review room we're going to take a look at the Predator Concrete Jungle action figure from NECA. Now, I am completely new to the NECA action figures when it comes to the Predators, actually their whole line. I'm new to action figures in general. I remember a few years ago I saw a Arnold Schwarzenegger and Predator 2-pack, and I was like, holy crap, they're making toys look so real these days. I picked up that 2-pack just because the Predator is my all-time favorite movie monster ever since I was little, and it still is today, and it will always be my all-time favorite movie monster. Just the design, the creature design alone is awesome. And so I recently started taking notice at what NECA Toys has been making over the past few years, and this is incredible. These are like little mini movable articulated statues that you could put up all around your office. So I want to take a look at these guys. I love the Predator, and I want to see if they're definitely worthy to add into the collection and put them up all around the office. So if you guys want, let's take a look at this Concrete Predator in the review room from head to toe. This guy looks awesome, and I know he's from the video game. I played that a long time ago. I think it was on like the PlayStation 1 or something like that, but here's pictures of the figure in action. You have a pretty big box. I think this is probably one of the biggest boxes I've seen from NECA. And the city is your hunting ground. It's got a really cool poster image right there. That image threw me off for a second because I'm like, wait a minute. I think I remember that from the game, but I would love a poster of that. And then you got 30 points of articulation. You can read his story. This guy's name is SCARFACE. Go ahead and pause it, read his story. He has a really cool story. Maybe we'll do a video on his story sometime in the future. Anyway, hold on. I gotta fix his alien head. That guy looks cool. We'll review him too. I think he's called Youngblood. Anyway, you'll see a lot more Predator figures from NECA because these guys look awesome. But let's take a look at this guy, SCARFACE, and then we'll take a look at his accessories. He comes with an additional head. Now, this is problematic because it's so cool. This is the problem with Predator collectibles. Do you display it with the head, especially a screaming face, or do you display it with the cool mask? I can never make up my mind. Anyway, here we have a really cool, I think a medieval inspired outfit or design for this creature. You have the cool mask. We see a similar mask in the AVP line, and we'll get to that when we get to that series, but it's similar, it's a little bit different, and we'll compare them then when I open that guy up. But he's got this skull that you cannot take off. He has this armor right here. This is my favorite design element of his suit. This armor, you tuck his pred dreads right there. You have him looking over with the skull, maybe even bring up his wrist blades, and he just looks so cool, man. Anyway, he's got a little spot of red paint on his helmet. He's got a spot down here on his chest, and these hunting skull trophy things, these right here, they come on the other side, but I think there's so much bulk here with the metal that it just stresses them out, and I don't know, there's no give. They don't hang well is what I'm saying, and they sometimes just get in the way. So I moved them over here where there's less stuff, there's less bulk, and I think that really helped. Anyhow, take a close-up look with this guy's mask. He's got some nice spikes there on his mask and some dreads hanging down, and we'll spin around to take a look at his armor. He has only a partial amount of armor covering his back, and then he's got that medieval style chainmail. Is that what that is? Right here, his netting is colored in black, but he's so dark it blends in really well. And then you got a skirt, and what's cool about the skirt, these are not attached to his legs. So if you are into posing these, or if you're a kid and you actually want to play with these, you can move them pretty good, and these are not going to get in the way. Now, if you are a kid, if you are young, when you first pull him out of the box, as well as with any figure or toy you get these days, move them slowly. Move the arms up slowly. If you find a spot that gets stuck, I wouldn't want you to especially a kid, you can't just jump in the car and go and exchange it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want you to break your toy. So if you're moving his arm and you feel like it's real tight, if you can, put him in warm water. You might not have to do that. Just slowly twist it a little bit, and then you'll get it moving again. But I don't want you to break your stuff. It's easier for an adult. Like if I break something, I don't care. I'll set them aside, and when I get free time, I'll run to the store and exchange them. But for a kid, I remember one time I brought home a Batman toy. As soon as I took him out of the package, I dropped him, and he shattered into a million pieces. And so did my heart, because we lived far away. We didn't go to the store for like once a week or something, so I knew I was screwed. Anyway, he's got a cool skull design right on his belt area with some spikes going around. And under the pred, there's nothing getting in the way with any of his, I don't know, it's just like a dangly piece of leather it's supposed to be, but it's all rubber, and it's pliable too, so if you need to move him around, you can. You really shouldn't have any problems at all moving this guy around. Now, these are pliable too. It feels like they got some soft rubber going around a previous sculpted Predator leg there. You know what I mean? Like they had this body and then they designed this rubber, this soft movable rubber, because when you move it, you can see the Predator's body still there. Normally it's like a flat, you know, piece of plastic, but got a nice design on his feet with these spiked toes. I like that. That's cool. That's pretty common on the Predators. I've noticed these spiked toes. We're going to look at a bunch coming up, but if you want to know how he moves, maybe you want to put him in. Look at that. Just look at his back. He's got a cool stance. The guy is designed to look cool. Anyway, if you want to move him around, and then we'll get into the accessories, but his head, it moves around pretty good. It's going to be hindered a little bit if you tuck his dreads in there, but this is a nice soft plastic, so as you're moving it, it's not hindered that bad as you see. This just, it has a little give. So you can look up a tiny bit, down a good amount for a Predator. You can look left and right, and then for the for the arm, I thought I was going to break it there. It gets a little stiff here, so you don't want to go up too much. Same thing with this arm. This has less give than this shoulder armor. This has a lot of play. This doesn't, though. This is connected right here and here, so you don't want to stress this too much. So go up as far as that and don't do any more than that. Now this will spin all the way around, so will this. And a cool thing they do with the shoulder, the forearm guard right here, it will spin in circles around the forearm guard, and it will also have a double hinge at the elbow. On both elbows, double hinge. Now you're going to want to move this to right there to get more play in that double hinge, because if you have it here, it's not going to want to go because of his little, and this opens too, his little self-destruct mechanism. It opens, and it's got a good amount of detail in there as well. Yeah, look at that. And I think these are about $25 for the Ultimate and $21.99 for the regular Predators. And for that amount of money, you're definitely getting your money's worth. They're pretty tall. Like, this is how tall he is compared to Logan. This guy is $20. This guy is $25. A regular Predator back there is $20. Well, $21, $21.99. And this guy's $20. And he doesn't come with anything else. That's it, just him. So you do get a lot for your money. I will admit that. Definitely a lot for your money. Now, if you want to test his leg flexibility, I think we're at his legs. You can do a split that much. It's not a whole lot, but you get a good amount. And forward that much, back a little bit. Same thing with this leg, back a little bit. Forward, you get less than the other leg. I don't think we did his waist, but you can definitely twist at the waist. And he's got another ab crunch up here. It is hindered a little bit. It doesn't want to move. Oh, you can actually go back a good amount. If you wanted to have him screaming or roaring, yeah, you can do that pretty good. He goes back a little bit. I don't want to stress him, and then he goes forward a decent amount. But like I said, work his joints out, and you'll be able to get more flexibility out of him. Now, where were we? With the knee, it bends with a double joint. I like what they did there. It hides it well. Look, you have the double knee joint right there, and then when you lift it up, the one is hidden completely under there, and I love that. I think that is a great design choice. And then when you lift it up, it hides it almost completely, and it's right in front of your face. So that is pretty cool. I think that is awesome. Now for his feet, you got a good amount of up and down, and this is real soft, so it doesn't actually get in the way. And then you got the rocker here, which is real good in case you need to position him like that. You definitely need that type of articulation. And then his foot moves around. It can go all the way around, but you don't really need it to. You just need it to go like this and this. So he's good for his feet articulation. Let's take a look at that extra head, because I love this. That ugly mug. You can see the eye down there. See that little orange yellow eye? And then that eye socket is just barren. It's black. He got his eye busted out. I forget what happens to his eye actually, but there's his side profile. Little eye in there. And I believe they make this with the head. I believe they make the head, and then they add the mouthpieces later on. You can kind of see the cuts there where they glue the mouthpieces on. That's probably the best way to do it, like a hot toy. Like this little chin part is separate, because I can't see any way possible for you to paint that eye in there. Yeah, see that? But he's got a really cool screaming face. Really cool. And then the dreads here. And if you're new to Predator, maybe you don't know this, you hit this with a blow dryer or some hot water, and then you shape it how you want it and put it in cold water, and you can get some really cool looking dreads, because sometimes they're all over the place. Sometimes they'll look like this out of the box, and you gotta hit some heat on it to get it to smarten up or lay right. Here's his shoulder cannon. You come with the piece that attaches right to his back. We'll go over that in a second. Here's a giant knife. This is actually what I seen when they first advertised this guy, and I was like, man, that knife is ridiculous. And I still think it's ridiculous. It's not my style. But the rest of the figure's so cool. I can look over a eccentric blade right here. That's just not up my alley, but oh well. And you get this piece for the shoulder blaster, shoulder cannon, majigamabob, plasma caster, I think it's called. You stick this tip end gently into the blaster part, and it's actually well articulated for a little piece. That's a little top heavy, so that wants to fall down, so we'll have to find a way to keep that from falling down. But you have articulation here, and this just pops out. If you ever pop that out, don't worry. You could just pop it back in and out. And that slides along the rail there, and then it has a few points of articulation here and there where you can lift it up and aim it on his shoulder, and then it even moves, I believe. Yeah, it moves around. You got to be real careful. For some reason, they made this out of a very soft and pliable rubber. I don't think they should have, because it just doesn't want to stay. It's like this is, every time you go to turn it, it's ripping this out, it's ripping that off. It doesn't break it, but it's just a pain in the butt. It's almost if, see, I got to put my thumb there just to turn it. Anyway, I'm going to look into some, see, you got to pinch it and then turn it and then let it go and keep it in position there. Yeah. Let's take a close-up look at that. You got some good detail on it. I think that's pretty cool. I love this design, absolutely. And I think back here is his med pack, isn't it? It doesn't come out for the figure, but I think in a movie that's his med pack. Well, it pokes into his back right here. You see two spots right there. All you do is you put the top one in, and then you, yeah, there we go. Put the top one in and then the bottom one. And that's what he looks like with the blaster on. We'll take a look at him in a second, but his blaster's dangling there. You get an extra pair of, what is this? His right hand, so he can hold some weapons. His left hand does hold weapons, but he comes with an open hand in the pack, so you can have him hold both his weapons with this hand, which is really cool that they included. And this has some nice detail and weathering on it. I like that. But you have his spear gun. That's such a weird looking gun. This one I don't like either, because it's just Star Trek looking. But we got some numbers there, some Predator language. But look at the detail. That's pretty nice. I like that. That's some good detail. And then you got the weird looking spears. Anyway, that's all his accessories. Let's take a look. Don't go anywhere, Predator. Let's take a look at his shoulder cannon because it keeps falling down. That's a problem. I'm going to have to try to find a solution for it because that's not going to work if you're going to display them. And, oh, man. I tell you what, NECA makes some fantastic stuff, but there's always at least one thing definitely wrong with everything I open from NECA. It's a shame. Definitely. Maybe there's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? They offer a lot for the price point. It's definitely competitive compared to the other figures. Like, why should I buy a $20 Walking Dead statue of a figure that comes with, you know, nothing else, maybe a base that doesn't move, when I can spend an extra $5 and get something like this really awesome, and I can display it multiple different ways. I mean, hell, if they could keep it from breaking, I can even let my daughter play with the damn things as long as she puts them back on the display shelf. You know, with the Walking Dead ones, she thinks they're cool, but she doesn't want to go anywhere near them. And I'm not saying that they should make them... That's a stupid thing to say. I'm just talking here. I'm not saying The Walking Dead should make toys for kids. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it's nice to get as much use for your money as you can. This, I can display it. My daughter can play with it. If my nieces and nephews come over and they're into monsters, they can play with them. This guy can attack the Barbies. You know what I mean? There's multiple different things I can utilize with these guys. But for the design alone, being a huge Predator fan, I'm in love with what NECA is doing. There's definitely something wrong with every figure, it seems, but I love it. I forgot to show you guys the wrist blades. They actually come separate, and you gotta push them down in there. But I'm not gonna take them out because I have a feeling once you push them in and then take them out and push them in, you're gonna wear that down. Right now, they're snug. They're not coming out. So I don't want to mess that up. Later I'll eventually glue them, I think, because I'm not collecting these for value. I want that on my shelf, my Blu-ray shelf, looking like a badass Predator. And that is it. And he does. Look at him. He looks awesome. Man, he looks really cool. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll show you this. Definitely take this off if you're going to switch his head, but you just pop his head off, and then you take the other head and just pop it right on. I'm trying to get you to see it there, but it looks like it's too dark. Alright, there we go. I want to do the same thing with him. Have that metal there covering some of his pred dreads, and you got him with his wrist blades. Look at that. Man, such a beautiful movie monster. I love it. You can have him roaring. Look at that. Slide him back. I got him barely just dangled there, but I cockeyed his legs a little bit and have him standing up roaring. Now, I probably should put a stand under there. I got a few NECA stands also if you want to get, because each of them have, all NECA figures pretty much have a dot, a hole, not a dot, a hole on the bottom of their foot, and you could buy stands. But I think this Predator will look pretty awesome in your display. How about a hunched over Predator looking down at us? That looks pretty cool. I like that. From the top to bottom, I can't even pick anything out that I don't like. I really like this. Design-wise, I think it is so cool. Whether you are a kid and you want to play with this guy, or you are an adult and you want to display this guy, I have to say you are both going to get your money's worth. If you're a kid, this guy is definitely playable. He's fully articulated. He comes with a lot of accessories. You can even buy two of them if you have been mowing a lot of grass, washing a lot of dishes, and you can have one with the mask and one without the mask. And if you're an adult, you can definitely refresh your display by putting him in different poses, you know, every few months, or putting the mask on, or putting the unmasked head on. I think this guy is definitely a high recommend. He's in stores now. He's one of those figures that came out just a few months ago, I think. So if you want to run to Toys R Us, you might as well just go online and have them ship it to your house. Anyway, thoughts and opinions about this Predator. Let me know how you feel about the movie monster, and if you want to see other Predator videos coming in the future, not just figure collectibles, because we're going to go over those, but other movies about the other videos about the movie and about the stories. Let me know down in that comment box. Hey, look, I got him standing doing the roar thingamajiggy. Look. Yeah, he's roaring. Now he doesn't want to stand. Yeah, there we go. Alright guys, thanks for coming by the review room. This was a lot of fun, but don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Man, he's pretty cool.
Subscribe now.